sad emo girls. You can't still hear music or no one else can? What is music, by the way? I never understood. That might be a sign you have super PTSD. The most severe PTSD to ever PTSD. But wait, there's more. If you also experience any of these symptoms, try here your favorite show signal tonight. Feeling personally victimized by Spotify's ads. Default to Instagram accounts. Doom scrolling Twitter.
Wow! This test says I'm 0.0001% blind!
Danny, wrong round again. That was literally yesterday.
Oh my god! Sorry, my bad. Fuck, now I look racist. It's way too early in my career to get allegations. Okay, let me redo that. It says I have... frick, I don't know. Concomitant celiac syndrome. And my AI therapy thinks my problematic manic delusions are iconic girl boss behavior. This app is literally saving my life.
The best part? We'll make sure all your information hits social 49 different shady Chinese advertisers. Your data will appear in more reach than you have... Ouch. Your data will appear in more data leaks than you have unread texts from your abusive ex. Plus, we'll sign you up for 17 different subscription services you can't cancel. Sorry! Don't wait. Take a totally free test that definitely doesn't have a hidden $69.42 fee. Your trauma deserves a premium package.
And my AI therapist just validated my conspiracy theory about the government trying to hunt me down and slime me out. This is literally the best mental health care ever. I just got a notification that my data was sold to a dog food company. This is so validating. But here's the thing, I am truly touched. Wait, what? Hello everybody, welcome to hell. And by hell, I mean the internet because I create it here most days. But today's rant isn't just about the usual content farm shenanigans. It's about two specific things that have been absolutely grinding my gears lately. I've combined what should have been two separate rant videos into one because I desperately need to talk about these atrocious mental health ads and my period tracker app's creepiness. Since I haven't seen anyone else calling this shit out, I figured I'd sacrifice my sanity for your entertainment as per usual. And because I like making money from bitching and moaning about things I find on the internet.
Quick heads up, we're gonna be discussing some ads that have some really upsetting and distressing qualities. This stuff was genuinely triggering for YY. So please watch with discretion or just exit the video if you need to. Your mental health comes first. No judgment. We'll add timestamps so you can skip the particularly hard parts. Okay, with that said, let's dive into this mess.
If you use YouTube Shorts at all, I'm 99% sure you've seen these mental health ads. I'm putting heavy air quotes around these words because this shit feels like a straight up disservice to mine. I'm starting with Bree's well-being because it's the one currently pissing me off the most. There's another one I'll get to later, but Breeze is the main offender. They market themselves to people with mood disorders, ADHD, PTSD, basically anyone struggling, but they are insanely controversial. Mostly because of these suck-ass ads that are basically trauma the jump scare. They claim, our unique toolkits like tests, games, checkups are designed by mental health enthusiasts with expert knowledge and sensitivity.
This is bullshit.
Expert knowledge and sensitivity, they said. Curious choice of words for a company that uses acoustic follow response as a marketing tactic. For those who don't know, that's just the science term for your brain's oh shit button. The involuntary physical reflex to have to a sudden loud noise. It's a survival instinct, not a diagnostic tool. It's the reason you flinch at jump scares. Fucking hell, even better health pads are executed better than this. And that's the one that's buried deep in the subterranean depths of the earth. See, that ad with the screaming child? That isn't a medical test. In actual clinical psychology, everyone, and I mean everyone, is programmed to react to a scream. By claiming that and telling you that being upset means you have repressed trauma, they're pathologizing a universal human instinct just to sell a $30 subscription. While some people's reactions obviously do stem from PTSD, re-traumatizing them for a click is just not cool. It is not Babygirl. We're med fishing, casting a wide net of generic symptoms to gaslight people into thinking they're sick. As someone who actually deals with this stuff, it doesn't make me want to download your app. It just makes me want to jump off the Empire State Building. Mental health already isn't taken seriously enough, and these pieces of crap treating it like a quirky personality test makes my blood boil. This isn't how you accommodate neurodivergent people. It's the complete fucking opposite. And let's be real, some people are going to misuse this tool. I should put heavy quotes on tool, but whatever. To feel special for having a diagnosis. You know exactly what kind of people I'm talking about. So let me tell you something. Come closer. Mental illness isn't a cute accessory for your lack of personality. In actual clinical evaluations, using professional tools like the PCL5, a checklist used to screen for PTSD, or the DS2, which measures dissociation, they don't use screaming kid MP3s. Professional questions in these contexts are standardized, evidence-based, and designed not to induce a panic attack in the person taking them. An actual expert would know better than to make an ad like this. I am pretty sure it is illegal to claim a service is backed by medical expertise when it is not. Remember 8 years ago when we got ads for Headspace or Calm? Ads that actually, I don't know, calmed you down somewhat and didn't have triggering ad campaigns? Let's compare them.
Bunny here. I am not sure if we included the skit in the YouTube version. It will for sure be in the Rumble version of this video. But basically, YY made a joke about those weird test screens advertisers, and the test was a bunch of non-cynical questions on Google Forms. Guess what I found when I checked their TikTok account?
Somebody gonna match my freak. Somebody gonna match my nasty.
Now for the absolute cherry on top of this dumpster fire. I've seen people claim that the kid screaming, "Stop it!" is just a clip of a kid being briefed in Fortnite. I heard rumors saying it was from the Epstein files, but I think the Fortnite theory is more plausible. Think about that. A company claiming expert sensitivity is scouring the web for clips of children in distress just to fuck with whoever watches the ad. I saw another ad with a mother screaming in a tone and what sounds like her beating her child. I had it on recording, but it got corrupted. I don't even think I can show that anyway. I'll just summarize it for you. It's like something about doing the dishes and the about doing them and the mother like putting her hands on the child. The audios are very graphic. I'm surprised YouTube even allowed that. It crosses the line from shitty marketing to absolutely not okay. Whether that audio is a meme or something darker, blasting screams without warning or context into the ears of people with PTSD proves they don't give a flying shit about your well-being. They just want your credit card number. They really want that number. More than a fat boy at a strip club. Users have accused Brief Wellbeing of making unauthorized purchases and making it impossible to cancel. Some purchases were like $35. That is fucking abysmal. Which in that case, if they charge the person twice in a row, which has happened, that'd be $90 out of your bank account in this economy. Some allege the app just decides to charge them a year later for no reason. When you hit a customer support, so I didn't consent to buying this. Get the fuck out, you poor heathen. I decided to take the test both on my phone and on my PC, knowing damn well it's probably being sold to a data center in Russia or something. They aren't as bad as the ads, but they're really generic and like, I don't really know how to explain it. It feels off. You know what I mean? Like, it's the most surface level questions ever. I noticed significantly more paywalls on the phone version than on the website, for one, and for two, it unironically referred me to the BetterHelp website for therapy. Oh yeah, I noticed there are like 50 channels in Brief Wellbeing with two having the icon of the app and the others having a default profile, so I don't know what's up with that. The only good things, I guess, are the mood tracker and the flower game, but I feel like there should be more to your app than those things. Yeah, this app is a fucking garbage. It's dumpster fire. Just use Finch instead. It is ages better than this shit. Now on to the next group of ads that piss me off. Not as badly as Brief Wellbeing, but it still annoys me. Endle. Now Endle is actually a functional ambient noise app. If you check Reddit or Trustpilot, the reception is mixed. Most of the drama is about the usual payment issues and people feeling like the quality has dipped over the years. But generally speaking, it's regarded better than whatever the hell Breeze is. So I guess that's something they have going for themselves. However, for an app that's supposedly about calm and focus, their ads are an overstimulating nightmare. As a neurodivergent person, these ads feel like a direct attack on my sensory processing. They use these uncomfortably loud, high-pitched frequencies, extended beats, specifically to cut through the noise of the scroll. They claim these are solfeggio tones, which is a fancy way of saying magic frequencies used in certain meditation circles. Proponents claim different hertz levels can do everything from healing your DNA to reducing anxiety. In reality, there's basically zero scientific backing for it. It's mostly pseudoscience or anecdotal. As I said, that's what my research suggests. Correct me please if that is not true. Those of us with neurospices or tinnitus, those of because of neurospices or tinnitus, that lovely permanent ringing in your ears, in case if you don't know. Those healing tones such as someone of migraine in a gift box. It's a classic case of an app making assumptions about a community that is a massive spectrum. Neither ADHD nor autism is a one-size-fits-all kind of deal. That should be common knowledge at this point. But this sheer ignorance just turns me off from the service entirely. Most people I know with ADHD, including myself, would find these noises distressing, not comforting. It's pure hell when you're wearing headphones and then there goes your eardrum. It hurts like a bitch. I don't know what kind of crack they're smoking over at YouTube HQ. You'll demonetize a creator for saying "skirt" in the first 8 seconds, but you'll let an advertiser play audio of a child screaming on increasing frequency to a vulnerable audience? Really? Make it make sense! The irony is that I actually tried the free stuff Endo offers and it was years better than the noise in their ads. It actually made me feel at ease. So I don't get the strategy here. These ads are just driving people away from an app that actually has something decent to offer. Although, I'm still not sure how I feel about that pricing. Paying a premium price for background noise is kind of silly, especially since you can find a lot more available for free. Now look, Endo claims their entire service is backed by a legitimate service. I'm a commentator, not a neuroscientist, so I'm not gonna sit here and peer review their lab results. If the data says it works for some people, that's great. But in my personal opinion, having a science-backed product doesn't excuse a marketing team that uses sensory overload to sell a calm app. I feel like that just defeats the entire purpose. If they actually listened to the community, fixed the payment issues, and stopped trying to choose our eardrums with their ads, they'd actually be a decent service, and this video wouldn't exist. Breeze, on the other hand, that's a different story. Yeah, at that point, just get rid of them forever and make it never come back, ever again. In my opinion, it just needs to go. At the end of the day, these are just my thoughts based on my own experiences as a creator and someone who deals with mental issues. Tell me what you think about what I showed you in the comments, and let's move on. So, this part of the video might be some girl talk that only the females or AFAB people in my audience really get, but I don't see enough people ranting about flow. If you're a dude and made it this far into the video, just keep watching so I get that sweet, sweet average. I'll explain the basics for my penis havers, don't worry. I heavily suggest pausing the video or leaving it here if you're eating. I'll just start with that.
Flow is a period, menopause, and pregnancy tracker. It is basically the Swiss Army knife of reproductive health.
For anyone with female biology, tracking the cycle is actually vital. Irregular or abnormal cycles, like periods that last longer than a week, or missing your cycle for a year, for example, can be massive red flags for hormonal issues like PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome, or endometriosis. Plus, on a practical level, it's just nice to know which days not to wear light-colored bottoms. detail about my issues because I don't think you bunnies need to know about my hormonal issues in excruciating detail, but I'll just leave it as, I need an app like this.
She has a stinky.
Shut up! We agreed not to talk about that on video.
I was gonna say dinky. Trust me, bro.
Sure.
Dinky.
People use slow for everything. When tracking a fertile window, the days you can play the and actually end up with a baby, or even for premenopause victims to see when exactly they're scheduled to want to bash their head against the wall. But here's where it gets sketchy. I've been using this app since I was 14, and the shift in content has been certainly a choice. Back in the 2010s, it was rumored that most of the helpful articles were free. Now, almost every useful insight is locked behind a paywall. The app sends notifications that are what feels like exclusively just thinly veiled excuses to chill slow premium. Is this like withholding your own medical education for ransom? I feel like at least the essential stuff should be free, like how to identify dangerous blood clots which can signal fibroids or anemia, STDs, or basic hygiene. It's genuinely scary how many girls I've met who never got a proper education because of overly religious parents or lack of resources. Paywalling that stuff just gives me the ick. Then we have the insight section. When I was 14, literally, I was constantly seeing articles about how to orgasm and best scores right on my homepage. Even if the paywall, is that even appropriate for a middle schooler to be seeing? Like, the talk is one thing, but this is a bit too far, in my opinion. I am well aware that 13-year-olds joke about that stuff with each other. I was a young teenager. I remember how it is. I have a brother who's 13. In fact, I was probably worse at that age now that I really think about. But an app created by adults providing a tutorial for anyone regardless of age, it could even be someone under the age of 13. That is way different than kids being edgy at a lunch table. Look, if an older teenager in their late teens wants to research sexual health, that's one thing. It's part of growing up. I was there, like not even a year ago. But seeing that next to my first period died when you're 13? I'm here to find out why I'm bloated, not a tutorial on how to squirt. It feels like there's like zero filter for younger users. Then there's the secret chats, which is the in-app anonymous social media. Some of the stuff in there is way too TMI, even for a health app, in my honest opinion. I legit saw a woman commenting on a thread about adult toys, saying she takes on dinner dates with her man who stuffs it in her pants. Like, she's going like super in detail about this. That show's at least 3 paragraphs long. Like, girly. I did not need to know that. I'm an adult now and I can discuss things like that, but there are some things that you don't need to share with the general public, and that is one of them. Like, you could just say, yeah, I have a butt, it's really good, and then cool, just move on with your day. Those other parts are just so unnecessary and quite uncomfortable almost. Update. I found out it actually is age-gated, but I was under the impression it wasn't. That was because I kept finding stuff like that when I was 17 and younger. However, I will say just because I'm 18 doesn't mean I automatically want to see stuff like that on my feed. I don't know if that's prudish, but that's just how I am. I really don't like intimate sexual conversations with strangers. The only way to turn that off is to set my account to be younger, but I feel like that's also weird. To my knowledge, there isn't a strict age filter for these, allowing girls that are quite young to browse these unfiltered, anonymous threads as grown adults discuss their sex lives is a setup for a PR disaster. It feels like a massive safety oversight and another lawsuit waiting to happen. And look, I'm not talking about mandatory ID age verification. We all know how dangerous that is with the data breaches and the current legal landscape around reproductive rights. Did you know if you are suspected to have had an illegal abortion, they can subpoena your period tracker? Yeah. Scary stuff. Regardless of your opinion on abortion, I am pretty sure we can all agree that is a massive breach of privacy. We do not need more sensitive data being stored. Online there really isn't a perfect non-invasive way to verify age, but doing nothing isn't the answer either. Speaking of privacy stuff, a few years ago, Flo got caught red-handed, pun not intended, sharing sensitive data like when you're ovulating or if you're pregnant with companies like Google and Meta for targeted ads. They literally just settled a $56 million lawsuit over in 2025.
When you're logging your most intimate medical details, you don't expect them to be sold to Mark Zuckerberg so he can show you ads for diapers before you even told your parents.
Honestly, I feel like you should ditch this app for something better. I don't want to lose years of tracking data, but for a company that claims to empower women, paywalling medical resources for potential AFAB people who don't have an option or supportive parents is just scummy. They have to make money, sure, but this is the wrong way to do it. I remember seeing a really weird Flow ad like 2 years ago, but I don't know if I can find it. I think it was some like freaky orgasm spot bullshit if I remember correctly. I'm probably switching period trackers after I finish this video. That's about it for today. It's a shorter video, but it needed to be said. I didn't see anyone else talk about this, so I figured I would. Remember that everything in this video is my opinion. If you made it this far, comment never KYS, because you are too sexy and you should never keep yourself. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and what I should cover next.
It's sorry though. I wanted to let you know that videos will be slowing down for a little bit because of a massive influx of client work and too much stuff going on in your student's personal life. So I hope that's okay.
Bye everybody!
Thank you for watching the video. You are so baby girl. Did you know Bonnie Rose goes live 3 times a week? She goes live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on YouTube. Join the Discord. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. If you don't, I will eat your friend and spawn 69 spiders in your bed tonight.